Welcome to Wayne Dalton's Detent iDrive Garage Door Opener Installation Program. In this program, we'll demonstrate the general installation sequence for the iDrive Garage Door Opener in conjunction with the extension spring adapter system. By combining iDrive for TorqueMaster springs and the iDrive extension spring kit, you'll be able to install the opener on doors equipped with extension spring counterbalance. The kit supports doors 8 feet wide up to 10 feet wide. This video and the instruction manual shipped with the extension spring kit include all steps necessary to install the complete system on a garage door. In order to effectively use this video, you should already have a properly installed multi-sectional garage door equipped with extension springs. Consult with a qualified service person if needed before installing the opener. Prior to installation, it is recommended that you watch the video, then read the printed instructions to become familiar with the all-working terminology, visual recognition of iDrive parts, and the location of various components. This video will show you how to install brackets, cable drums, lifting and counterbalance cables, torque tubes, the power head, and disconnect assembly. Accessory installation such as safety sensors, wall station, light kit, and transmitters are also shown. Be sure to pay close attention to all warning labels and important safety notices as described in the installation manual. To begin the installation, first raise the door to the fully open position and clamp locking pliers to the back legs of both vertical tracks below the bottom rollers. This will prevent the door from falling during installation. By opening the door, you release most of the spring tension. Carefully unfasten the S-hook from the horizontal angle. Next, remove the counterbalance cable. Leave the extension spring with its sheave installed. Repeat this procedure for the other side. Note that the counterbalance spring tension must be relieved before removing any hardware. The energy released from an extension spring can cause severe, even fatal. Lifting cable loop. Locate the bottom bracket at the lower edge of the bottom section. The lift cable will be attached to the bracket's Milford pin. Measure the diameter of the head of the pin and record the measurement. Locate the drum assemblies provided with the kit. The assemblies will have a cable attached with a loop formed on the end of the cable. Locate the cable loop tool and install the loop over the shape that corresponds to the Milford pin head size you measured. Use the larger size if the Milford pin head size is greater than or equal to 1/2 inch, and the smaller size if the diameter is less than 1/2 inch. With the cable installed onto the tool, pull the cable tight. This will ensure the cable is pulled snug around the loop tool. Remove the cable from the tool while holding it so it does not slip in the crimp sleeve. Place the crimp sleeve on a hard surface. Using a hammer, hit the crimp sleeve until it squeezes tightly around the cable. Verify that the loop has been set securely by pulling on the loop. Repeat this procedure for the other cable. Flag bracket installation. There are 2 flag brackets provided. The right side bracket has an extended flange at the top. Note that left and right on the garage door is determined from the inside of the garage looking out. Ensure that the distance between the flag angles is equal to the width of the door plus 3.5 inches. Align the left-hand flag bracket to the existing left flag angle so the top flange will be located to the top edge of the existing flag angle. Identify 2 locations that will allow the 3/8 inch bolts, the flag bracket, and the existing flag angle. Insert the 3/8 inch bolts into the previously identified slot in the flag bracket. Insert a spacer onto the bolt and position the flag bracket to the flag angle. Make sure that the flag bracket is parallel, level, and plumb with the existing flag angle. Next, attach the 3/8 inch nut and tighten. Secure the second bolt, spacer, and nut in the same manner. Then secure the top of the flag bracket with a 5/16" lag screw in the slot provided. Repeat this procedure for the right-hand bracket. Cable drum installation. Be sure to check the identification on each drum. Drums are marked right and left. Apply grease to both sides and outer diameter of the drum shaft. Then insert the 1/2 13 by 2 inch socket head cap screw into the drum shaft. Insert the assembly into the drum so that the screw threads extend past the drum bearing. Finally, place the complete assembly into the 3/4 inch hole in the flag bracket and secure the assembly with a 1/2 inch washer and 1/2 inch lock nut. Repeat this procedure for the opposite side. Now locate the end of the lifting cable with the custom loop. Extend the loop end to the bottom section Milford pin. Then secure the cable loop around the pin. Repeat this procedure for the other side. Drum wrap installation. To begin drum wrap installation, first unroll the loose extension spring cable. Then thread the free end of the cable through the rectangular window of the drum wrap and position the drum wrap as seen here. Next, grab the end of the extension spring cable and thread it through and around the sheave located on the extension spring. Then bring the cable to the front of the track. Attach the 3-hole clip as shown. Insert the S-hook into the 3-hole clip. Pull the cables taut, ensuring the cable is on the sheave. Connect the cable to the horizontal angle as shown. Repeat this step for the opposite side. Adjust the extension spring cable so that there is no more than 1 inch of spring stretch. This is done by adjusting the cable in the 3-hole clip. It may also be necessary to move the S-hook to another location on the horizontal angle. Make sure that the left and right side counterbalance cables are stretched to provide the same amount of pre-tension. After the counterbalance cables are installed on both sides of the track, remove the shrink wrap from the cable drums. Then secure both drum wraps to the flag bracket using one 1/4 20 by 9/16 track bolt and 1/4 20 flange nut. Check the safety cables to ensure that they're not tangled with the extension spring cables. Contact a professional garage door service technician if the safety cables are not installed through each of the extension springs. Lower the door. Now that the counterbalance system is installed to the garage door, remove the locking pliers and carefully lower the door to the fully closed position. Make sure that the door descends uniformly. Once the door is closed, measure the spring length on both springs and verify the spring tension length is the same for both springs. If the tension length is not the same, raise the door and repeat the cable adjustment procedure. Do not try to adjust springs while the door is in the closed or down position. Torque tube assembly. Locate the 3 pieces of cam-shaped torque tube. Note that one piece is smaller and will fit inside the other 2 pieces. Locate the iDrive power head. Look into the left side of the power head to ensure the left-hand bearing and the internal black sleeve are aligned with the torque tube profile. Slide the power head onto the smaller piece of tubing. Be sure to hold the power head by the main body. Do not hold the power head by the motor. As the right end of the torque tube enters the internal sleeve, rotate the power head back and forth slightly to help aid alignment. Make sure not to force the power head onto the tube if misalignment occurs. Align the right-hand bearing with the torque tube and slide the opener onto the torque tube until the torque tube exits the opener right-hand bearing. Continue sliding the opener to the center of the torque tube. Install the snap buttons onto each end of the tube. Take the remaining torque tubes and slide them over each end of the smaller torque tube. Make sure that the end with the 3 sets of holes is pointed toward the opener. Push the outer torque tubes in until they're touching the opener. Ensure that the snap buttons are not engaged in any of the outer tube holes. Next, lift the iDrive power head and torque tube assembly up to the drums. Align one end of the tube to the cam-shaped hole in the drum. Once aligned, slide the tube into the cable drum. Make sure it is fitted all the way into the drum. Now take the tube and slide the opposite end into the other drum. Extend the tube so that it is all the way into both drums. Once fitted, the snap buttons will engage the set of holes for your door width. Opener mounting. Our next step brings us to the installation of the power head support bracket. First, locate the mounting pad. Place the support bracket underneath the power head to the right side of the motor, centered on the mounting pad. Level the torque tube and secure the support bracket to the mounting pad with two 1/4 by 2 inch lag screws. Remove the flange nuts from the bottom of the power head. Lift and slide the power head over the support bracket, aligning the mounting studs with the bracket slots. Reattach the flange nuts, but do not tighten at this time. Finally, plug the motor power cord into the opener. Disconnect installation. Attach the loose disconnect cable to the opener with the S-hook. Close both ends of the S-hook to lock the assembly together. Next, thread the disconnect cable through the hole in the right-hand flag bracket and remove all slack between the opener and flag bracket. Mark a location on the right jamb 6 feet above the floor to mount the handle bracket. Align top of the bracket with a mark. Then fasten bracket to the jamb with two 1/4 by 1.5 inch lag screws. Start the number 6 20 by 1/2 inch screw into the handle. Thread the disconnect cable through the top of the handle bracket and then the handle. Next, locate the handle in the full upper position of the handle bracket. Then remove all cable slack between the opener and the top of the handle bracket. Make sure to pull cable only enough to remove the cable slack. Pulling the cable more could cause the opener to disconnect from the torque tube. Tighten the number 6 20 by 1/2 inch screw into the handle until snug. Finish by tightening the screw an additional 1 to 1.5 turns to secure the cable to the handle. Trim off any excess cable from bottom of the handle. Apply the emergency disconnect label next to the mounted bracket. Using the emergency disconnect, pull disconnect handle downwards and place it in the manual door-operated position. The motor will rotate 90 degrees from its packaged position. Next, we move to the wall station installation. Locate an area for the wall station within sight of the door and at a minimum height of 5 feet so that it is out of reach from small children. The wall station must be positioned clear of all moving parts of the garage door. If possible, install on wood framing. Using a 3/32 inch drill bit and the drilling template, drill the two mounting holes. Install the lower screw, leaving 3/16 inch of the threads exposed. Slide the wall station keyhole slot onto the lower screw. Once the wall station is fitted snugly on the lower screw, install the upper screw. Do not over-tighten. Next, remove the battery cover. Install two AAA batteries into the wall station, observing the polarity of both batteries, and reinstall the cover. After about 5 seconds, the up-down LEDs will begin to blink momentarily every 2.5 seconds. This is normal. Finish the installation by applying the entrapment label in a convenient location next to the wall station. Your next step is to install the light fixture. To reduce the risk of electrical shock, connect the light fixture only to a properly grounded 120-volt outlet. Do not use an extension cord or change the plug in any way. Disconnect the power to the receptacle before installing or removing the unit. Do not install the light fixture into a receptacle with a metal faceplate. The door must clear the light fixture when the door is in the up position. The light fixture is designed to mount directly to a standard 120-volt duplex receptacle. Disconnect power to the receptacle at the fuse breaker box before proceeding. To begin, locate a convenient duplex receptacle and remove the center screw in the receptacle cover. Holding the receptacle cover in place, insert the light fixture into the receptacle having the ground hole farthest from the center screw hole. Be careful, as the light kit may fall out of the receptacle. Secure the light fixture to the receptacle with a number 6 32 by 3/4 inch Phillips panhead screw and install the center hole plug. Screw a 75-watt maximum light bulb into the light socket and snap the diffuser into the light fixture. Turn the receptacle power back on at the fuse or breaker box. The light will blink one time when the power is re-established. Photoelectric safety sensor installation. Select a mounting position 5 inches above the floor to the center line of the wall mounting bracket. It is very important that both wall brackets be mounted at the same height for proper alignment. Using the 5/16 by 1 1/2 inch lag screws, mount the wall mounting bracket to the door jamb. Attach the U-bracket to the wall bracket with a 1/4 20 carriage bolt, washer, and nut. Insert the bolt from the inside of the U-bracket and hand tighten. Attach the sending and receiving units to the U-brackets by inserting their tabs into their respective holes. Repeat for the other side. Uncoil the wires from the photoelectric sensors and route them up against the garage wall and along the door header towards the right side of the opener. Route the wires behind the torque tube and tack them in place with insulated staples. Make sure to run wires in a location where they will not interfere with the opening of the door. Separate the wire ends and strip approximately 1/2 inch of insulation off each of the wires. Insert a flathead screwdriver with a maximum width of 3/32 of an inch or 2.5 millimeters into the lower hole number 1 of the terminal block. Twist the screwdriver to open the wire clamp in upper hole number 1 of terminal block. Insert both the sender and receiver solid white wires into upper hole number 1 until the wires bottom out, and release the screwdriver tension. Insert both the sender and receiver wires into upper hole number 2 by the same process on lower hole number 2 of terminal block. The receiver wires are white with a black stripe. Once the wires are connected, install the jumper onto the set of pins furthest to the left labeled PE, located on the front of the opener. Next, we connect power to the iDrive power head. Plug the female end of the power cord into the inlet connector on the right side of the opener. Push hard on the plug to make sure it's fully inserted into the power head. Then plug the other end of the opener power cord into the nearest convenient power receptacle. As soon as the power is applied to the opener power head, the unit will beep 2 times. To reduce the risk of an electrical shock, connect the power cord to a properly grounded 120-volt outlet. If the power cord is not long enough to reach the closest outlet, contact a service person for assistance. A power cord extender kit is available from your Wayne Dalton dealer. Excess power cord length must be routed and contained safely away from any moving members. Do not permanently attach the power cord to any part of the structure. Use only the flexible plastic clips supplied with the opener. Securing the power head. With the emergency disconnect still in the manual door operated position, manually raise the door to the full upwards position. Then manually lower the door to the full closed position, verifying freedom of movement and good door balance. Tighten both 1/4 20 flange nuts securing the opener to the support bracket. Good door balance and freedom of movement are critical to the safety and performance of the door opener. If the door is very heavy to lift, or if the springs are too tight, making the door hard to close, or if door sticks or binds in the track, now is the time to correct it. Photoelectric safety sensor alignment. The safety sensors can be aligned by moving the sending and receiving units in or out as shown, until the alignment light on the receiving unit comes on. The 1/4 20-inch carriage bolt can be loosened to move the unit in or out as required. If you have difficulty aligning the infrared beams, check that both brackets are mounted at the same height and remount if necessary. To program the wall station, first pull the emergency disconnect handle to the manual door operated position. Next, press and release the red Program button on the front cover of the opener. The opener will beep once, indicating activation of the program mode. Next, press and hold the wall station light button until the opener beeps once. The wall station is now programmed. Return the emergency disconnect handle to the motor-operated position, which is the upper position. The motor may not drop when the disconnect handle is released from the manual position to the motor-operated position until the door operation is initiated. Program the light fixture. To program the light fixture, first press the red Program button on the light fixture. The LED on the light fixture and the incandescent lamp will turn on. Next, press the light button on the wall station. The light fixture lamp and LED will blink 3 times, indicating a successful programming operation. The light fixture will now respond to the opener and the wall station. Now that all general wiring is completed and accessories are programmed, you'll need to run your iDrive through a complete install routine. To begin this process, the emergency disconnect must be in the manual door operating position. First, manually raise the door to the full upward position. Next, manually lower the door to the full closed position, making sure you have complete freedom of movement. A properly balanced door should not take a lot of effort to open or close it by hand, and should stay in the open and closed positions once you let go of it. During the install routine, the door will go through 2 full up and down cycles. During installation, always keep a moving door in sight and away from other people and objects until it is completely closed. You should never cross the pathway of a moving door. Detent Adjustment. The motor is designed to pivot down after the door closes completely. If the motor does not pivot or pivots too soon, the detent may need to be adjusted in order for the lock arm installation. Place the emergency disconnect in the manual operated position. Insert the lock arm into the motor groove and align the lock arm to the number 4 hole. Then secure the lock arm to the motor with one M5 by 0.8 Phillips panhead screw. After assembly of the lock arm, manually raise and lower the door to verify that the lock arm does not interfere with the door. Contact obstruction test. After installing the opener, the door must reverse when it contacts a 1 1/2 inch high object or a 2x4 board laid flat on the floor. To verify proper operation, activate the door to the fully open position. Next, place a 2x4 board laid flat on the garage floor under the door path. Then activate the door to the closed position. Upon contacting a solid object, the door will stop, then reverse direction within 2 seconds and travel to the full open position. If the door does not respond to the required tests, repeat the install routine, making sure the door is in the fully closed position prior to activation. If the problem persists, contact Wayne Dalton Customer Service at 888-827-3667. Before programming, Ensure the radio antenna is fully extended upward at a 45-degree angle to obtain best radio reception. Before using a handheld transmitter, the user must activate the transmitter. Activation of the transmitter is only necessary at installation. To activate the transmitter, press and hold the large transmitter button. The transmitter's LED will blink rapidly. After 2 seconds, the LED will turn on continuously. Release the button. The transmitter is now ready to be programmed to the opener. To program the transmitter, begin by placing the emergency disconnect handle in the manual door-operated position. This is done for safety reasons. Next, press and release the red Program button on the front cover of the opener. The opener will beep once, indicating activation of the program mode. Then move the transmitter approximately 6 feet away from the opener. Press and hold the desired transmitter button until the opener beeps once. The transmitter is now programmed. Finally, return the emergency disconnect handle to the motor-operated position. Congratulations! The installation of your new Wayne Dalton iDrive system is now complete.